Hi, everyone. I just wanted to kind of go over our course textbook, and you can see here that some of you were able to get the fifth edition, which is the one on the right, and some of you weren't able to get the fifth edition, so we ended up getting the fourth edition, which are very similar in content. There's just a little more added e-text um, resources. But so this is our course textbook. And if you haven't gotten it yet, I really want to encourage you to get it. Our assignments and learning for this quarter is all based on this textbook. Um, Gail Tompkins is the author, and she presents research-based practical help for getting every child off to a successful start in literacy. The focus of this textbook is exclusively on the developmental needs of children in pre-K through grade 4 and on the skills and strategies teachers need to guide children in this age group to become successful, fluent readers and writers. The textbook offers research-based practical directives supported by authentic student examples. So even though we're not in a classroom and able to practice these different strategies, the textbooks does give you a glimpse of what it might look like in a classroom. So I think that it's very valuable. I think when you go into the classroom, this textbook will be kind of a guide for strategies you can use when you're working with your students. So although I am, excuse me, posting the reading through module 4, please get this textbook. It will be a really good investment for you working from pre-K through 4th grade, right? So get it. Um, so as we move on here, let me see. So our textbook provides these 8 principles of effective teaching. And you're going to find these principles throughout the textbook. In each chapter, it shows how you gain understanding, how children learn phonemic awareness, how they learn phonics, how they learn spelling, how that is part of writing. Um, the principle of supporting children use of the 4 cueing system. What are the 4 cueing systems? I'm not going to tell you right now because I want you to know that. I want you to have read through your book, flagged these principles, and understand what they are. We should already know about creating a community of learners. That is a basic best practice for early childhood educators, right? But again, these chapters show what does it look like to be a community of learners around reading, around writing, around vocabulary. Effective teachers adopt a balanced approach to instruction. And I think this is really important to understand and to visualize yourself as a teacher in the classroom and how you're going to provide the balanced approach to instruction of reading and writing. And that means that you have daily practice in each. It means that you have these mini lessons that target strategies. So that's all the content that this book is going over and that we're going to explore and try to help you become an expert in this area. We'll go into that a little bit later, but you're again scaffolding children's reading and writing. You're organizing for literacy instruction because it's not just off the cuff. You have explicit goals that you're wanting to meet and to teach the students in your classroom. Definitely, you have to differentiate for instruction. That's one thing I love about this book is that it doesn't expect all children to be at the same level of reading and writing skill set, right? And that is such a reality in the classroom. You're going to have children who are super high in reading and writing, and you will have children who are low. How do you differentiate for those children? And linking instruction and assessment. So important. That is what assessment is about, to understand where children are in their learning. Through assessment, right? And then it informs your instruction of what you will do next to help each child gain new learning. So as you hopefully have read chapter 4, you're going to see these different principles throughout the chapter. It shows us that effective teachers understand how children learn reading, phonemic awareness. How do they learn that? How do they learn phonics? Effective teachers support children's use of the 4 cueing systems. So the application, right? So the cueing system in phonemic awareness and phonics is the phonological system. That's the sound system of our language. We have 44 sounds and more than 500 ways to spell them. You can see how phonemic awareness is the beginning of understanding sound, reading, and writing. They are connected. The application of this cueing system, the phonological system, in phonemic awareness and phonics is decoding words, using invented spelling, noticing rhyming words, dividing words into syllables. Sorry about this typo, but the next principle is effective teachers create a community of learners, right? So here's what a community of learners looks like. There's children feel safe, respected. There are high expectations for their learning. Because children feel safe and respected, they will take risks. There's collaboration, there's children's choice, and there's family involvement. Effective teachers adopt a balanced approach to instruction: reading, literature, phonemic awareness and phonics, content area study, literacy strategies, oral language, vocabulary, writing, comprehension, and spelling. That's the balanced approach to literacy instruction. Effective teachers differentiate the content, the process, and the product, and they nurture English learners. I love that about this book. There's always at least one paragraph, if not more, about English language learners and how to differentiate and support them. So those of you who mentioned that in your general survey of what you want to learn about and wanting to know how to support English language learners, make sure you really read that in our textbook, because every chapter has something about supporting English language learners. And then linking instruction to assessment. You determine reading levels, you monitor progress, you diagnose strengths and weaknesses, and you document learning. So I love that our textbook addresses the Common Core state standards in a way that is understandable and applicable. So here's the Common Core state standards around phonological awareness. Right. So then phonemic awareness strategies, it gives us ways that we can implement phonemic awareness: sound matching, sound isolation, sound blending, sound addition and substitution, and sound segmentation. So when you plan your first mini lesson, it will be on phonemic awareness. So these are the strategies that you will choose from to create your first mini lesson. So then teaching phonics. The best way to teach phonics is through a combination of explicit instruction and authentic application activities. The most effective programs are systematic, beginning with simple skills and progressively becoming more complex. So if you've never taught phonics, you've never learned about it, this book tells you what's the best way to effectively teach phonics. What are the strategies? Here's explicit instruction, many lessons to the whole class or small groups, and differentiated based on individual needs. The authentic application of phonics, which is super important, is that students apply newly learned phonics concept in their reading and writing. So it's not just about instructing and learning, but it is applying it. And so how do we do that in the classroom? I love that our book will give developmental continuums on each area of reading and writing, right? So in pre-K, what do we want to look for? And that it goes up to 4th grade. If you're teaching 3rd grade, you're going to have some higher learners that are probably in the 4th grade continuum around phonemic awareness, similar to phonics. So you need to know where children are going to, right? Because in the 2nd grade at the end, you may see some of your children are exhibiting what is typically thought as third grade phonics, and you're going to want to be instructing them at that level. How to be strategic, right? So your day as a classroom teacher is packed with learning needs and goals where you as a teacher need to be taking your students, and so you want to use your classroom time strategically, and this textbook is filled with strategies on how to be strategic and teaching explicitly to your learners needs. So there are teacher checklists. There are pre-K practices, which I think are really important. Some of your kindergarten first graders may be at a pre-K level, or you may be teaching pre-K. And so what do you need to be doing? I love that our textbook includes these pre-K practices. And then again, the literacy portraits so that you can see what it looks like in a real classroom with a teacher dealing with different learners and trying to provide the explicit instruction that is needed in her classroom. So I just wanted to put a plug in. I know it's a lot of reading, but I hope that it really what influences you to want to know, at least become familiar. You're not going to be the expert of all the strategies, but by having this textbook, you can always go back and think, oh yeah, there is a teacher checklist in phonics instruction. There's a teacher checklist in spelling, and then you can go back and look at it. So looking forward to being on this journey with you, and hope you really are enjoying your reading. Take care.